So I want to talk about ACME. They're definitely our boys for a lot of us at VKH and also in the chat, I know. So
My boys, my clients.
I'm really liking just the way that they've just turned into like the all-star international band for like really redefining like a lot of genres like post-hardcore and stuff like that that there's just not a lot there for at the moment, not a lot of love for, not a lot of representation, not a lot of genre representation and stuff. So but they're doing it with such like they're doing so many things at once, it's like hard to keep track of, which is why I had like started them out as like extra K. It was like just calling them extra K because they were like so crazy at the beginning visually.
They're still crazy.
And they're still crazy, but they're doing things that I can track now and I think are really, really smart. And like some of those things are like they're taking a lot of stuff that Westerners, a lot of influence from bands that like a lot of Westerners like have really fond memories of. So they may not be in right now, but if it comes on the radio, like, or if someone were to pop on the song, they would always respond positively to it.
It's how they make their melodies
Yeah.
to suit, because the whole Japanese style is rather than focusing on the talent of the vocalist and making whatever melodies, they make melodies that suit the vocalist's range. And that's why you have so many bands from Japan that sound so
The
different.
vocalist what? Sorry, you
The vocalist
cut out.
range.
Range.
The vocalist range.
Okay. Yeah. So, so there's obviously the Japanese side, like they sound like a Japanese band for sure. But then like I will pick up things like, and I'm talking like these like feel good, memorable bands even like, I mean, from their last album, there was everything from like Panic at the Disco, Streetlight Manifesto, like the old school post-hardcore that was like a little bit harder, like older Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens almost.
Yeah, their first album. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so many other things. There's like all these different pop rock influences, punk influences. There's some new metal influences, especially in some of the tracks on this latest single. It's a lot of feel good stuff, like a lot of stuff that's like, oh, that's a good vibe. But then it's wrapped in like this modern kind of Japanese style, which. I mean, let's be real. Chisa's just been a master of this, since he was in Dive, pretty much. So, oh my God, did you just drop every box in existence?
No. I found more boxes.
Oh, you found more boxes?
That's what I did.
Okay.
Literally went down the street hunting for boxes, look into the trash room of my dorm, and there's hella boxes.
All right. Yeah, so I think that's really going to that's going to win them a lot of favors. Obviously, it's winning them a lot of favors in the Visual K fans and stuff. Their videos are really well done. Their music is really well put together. Like they've really got their act together, especially as of like their first full album. Like it's like the amount of improvement that I've seen from this band, over such a short period of time is very, very impressive and
Exponential.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. So. I'm really excited to get their music out to more people in the States, and I think they're one of the bands that I feel like their music is going to go over great at a con, but I feel like it may be able to spread better than like your average band that ends up at a con because of all those like, I don't know, all of like those like nostalgic vibes that I'll get from ACME on occasion. And it's almost like an attitude. It's almost like an emotion that goes through their music too, that kind of brings up memories of some of these like past bands. So it's like almost like a I told myself I wouldn't say the word emo. I didn't ever describe bands like that ever, but it's like that. It's very
just say emo.
No, very emotionally charged.
You know they do it.
Passionate.
You know they do it.
Do they?
Yeah, they do it. Like, I don't know if ACME specifically does it, but a lot of Japanese fans refer to themselves emo because they're stuck in 5 years ago.
Empathic, maybe? Is that better, more correct? I don't know, but
nah, just say emo.
Anyway, I think they're gonna go over well with their initial audience at the con and the people that find them there. But then if they're able to like if they're able to be spread from the con, like they gain a bunch of fans from the con, and then those fans start blasting that music around their Western friends,
contagion.
They might be able to, yeah. So a con may be the perfect place for them to get their foot in the door and actually really make some progress, because that's the big problem for a lot of these con bands is the reason that they go to those cons is because they are a good gig, they're a done deal, but there's not really a lot of expectation that I usually see on what happens afterwards. They're hoping it'll improve their audience, but there's not really a coordinated game plan or anything like that. It's usually more around, making a splash at the con and seeing what happens. In ACME's case, I feel like seeing what happens may amount to a lot more than just, there was some, a bunch of people at the con saw him and got into him. I don't know. I feel like they really could spread that sound around a lot. It's very contagious. It's an emotional contagion of like the positive variety. So I do think, I know they've just put out one single. They've already put out a single, and they're going to be at the con. So they already have a lot of plans so early on in the year, and the rate at which they release content is fairly frequent anyway, and so it kind of leads me to expect that there will be more stuff that we will see from them one way or another throughout the year. I think that's a pretty safe bet. But so just based on, kicking off the year with a really impressive performance, and I have seen clips of their live shows. They're very good live from what I can tell. So there's a really high chance they're going to blow people away at Anime Milwaukee. It's going to be really cold there, man. So I hope everyone still shows up. I assume people in the Midwest aren't total babies about it like I am. So, but
yeah, you're the only one.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. All right. Yeah. Us people living in civilization,
Wisconsin and Illinois, man, they get it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man.
Yeah, that's the tundra up there to me. I'm like, man, is the plane gonna freeze while it's landing? Is it safe to fly in there? How does this work? How does this white stuff falling from the sky work?
I saw a GIF of some guy screaming, "I have a sweater!" That reminded me of you.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so this has been ACME. High chance of being a real MVP, just because the stuff they keep putting out has been very on point. They're also making a U.S. appearance at the height of their game, basically. At the height so far that they've had comparatively. And they're just on a roll. Their music's not really in dispute in terms of is it going to change more? How's it going to, if it improves, is it going to get better? Or is it going to, is it this or that? It's no, they just are kind of on a roll. They're doing very good. So, yeah, good shit there.
Good shit.
Yeah.